We're gonna get started in a minute. I want to listen to the wise words of Elder Kaba Hiawatha Kamene, also known as Booker T. Coleman.
I brought a tape. In fact, I brought a tape with two different albums on it. One was Miles Davis. It was called Sketches of Spain. Another piece I did was John Coltrane did an album he called Olé. In both of these albums, John Coltrane is very important in Philadelphia. He was very impacted by the Islamic community, the Nation of Islam, but also Moorish Americans. And in particular, a group coming from Pakistan carrying the Moorish tradition known as Ahmadiyya, Ameddiyya. In Philadelphia, had a strong impact. These were Moorish Americans, okay? These were Pakistanis with the Moorish influence, but also the followers and the believers of the Honorable Noble Drew Ali also were in Philadelphia. Mm-hmm. So out of the influences that Islam and the Moors had on John Coltrane then took that consciousness and did an album called Olé. I brought a copy of it to play while I present it to you, but in its absence, I encourage you to go and see if you can find this, and you will hear jazz, and then the Moorish impact it has on jazz, and then see the African-American experience as it is with jazz. Now, Miles Davis, he heard a song done by a man by the name of Joaquin Rodrigo, who did, the Spanish bullfight song. It's called Concierto de Aranjuez. And he was in L.A. in 1959, and he was introduced to this song by a Native American from Mexico, who told him, Miles, check this out, man. You can do this. And he said that he started playing this song, Concierto de Aranjuez, for Miles Davis, and Miles said that this song just stayed in his mind and stayed on his mind until he got back. He called Gil Evans, who was one of his arrangers. And he and Gil sat up and he did this album, Sketches of Spain. And this is what he says. The Black Moors, this is what Miles Davis is talking to Quincy Jones in his autobiography. The Black Moors were over there in Spain because Africans had conquered Spain a long time ago. In the Andalusia area, you have a lot of African influences in the music, architecture, and a lot of African blood in the people. So you had a black African thing up in the feeling of the music, in the bagpipes, in the trumpets, and in the drums. So Miles was aware. And so he brought this consciousness to his music, and this is why Miles is so great, was because he was able to take a consciousness with it.
Sketches of Spain and Olé, Miles Davis, John Coltrane. I highly encourage you to check out those albums. Amazing music. Peace, 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 peace. I'm Rami Salam El. Thank you for joining. Thank you for watching. This is Moorish Koran class, chapter 30. Holy instructions from the Prophet, the social duties. Oh my goodness. It took a minute, but we are here now. Uh-oh. Let me drop this in the chat for you. Like that there. There it goes. That's the link for you if you don't know. We are going to be reading from the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America. This Quran was divinely prepared by the noble prophet Drew Ali. Was a universal prophet, but sent specifically to the so-called black man, so-called black people, so-called African Americans, so-called Negroes, so-called people of color, coloreds, because we needed him the most. But we are studying chapter 30 today. I'm going to read through it, and then we just going to highlight. It's a short chapter, so I'm going to just double back through and highlight some very powerful, parts of this that I saw preparing for it. Chapter 30. When thou considerest thy wants, when thou beholdest thy imperfections, acknowledge his goodness, O son of humanity, who honored thee with humanity, endued thee with speech, and placed thee in society to receive and confer reciprocal helps and mutual obligations, protection from the injuries, thy enjoyments of the comforts and the pleasure of life. All these thou owest to the assistance of others, and couldst not enjoy but in the bands of society. Let me write this down before I forget. It is thy duty, therefore, to be a friend to mankind, as it is thy interest that man should be friendly to thee. As the rose breatheth sweetness from his own nature, so the heart of a benevolent man produceth good works. He enjoyeth the ease and tranquility of his own breast, and rejoiceth in the happiness and prosperity of his neighbor. He opened not his ear unto slander. The faults and the failings of men give a pain to his heart. His desire is to do good, and he researcheth out the occasions thereof. In removing the oppression of another, he relieveth himself. From the largeness of his mind, he comprehendeth in his wishes the happiness of all men, and from the generosity of his heart, he endeavoreth to promote it. So boom, that's chapter 30. Real short, but it has some powerful lines, and also some words that I want to look up. I wanted to highlight line number 3 again. It is thy duty, therefore, to be a friend to mankind, as it is thy interest that man should be friendly to thee. We got to be friends with each other. And why? Why, though? The line right before it. Protection from the injuries, the enjoyments of the comforts and the pleasures of life. All of these thou owest to the assistance of others, and could not enjoy it but in the bands of society. Man, a deep line, man. Then also just highlighting in line 4, it says, the heart of a benevolent man produceth good works. He enjoyeth, and then it goes on. So it's from line 4 down, it's speaking of a benevolent man. So I said, man, it would be a good idea to actually look up what benevolent means. And I already had that ready to go today. And we are coming from the Oxford American Dictionary. Yeah, the new Oxford American Dictionary. Oops. Lost the page for a second. Benevolent, well-meaning and kindly. Of an organization serving a charitable rather than a profit-making purpose. Origin from late Middle English, from Latin, benevolent, well-wishing. So again, benevolent is well-meaning and kindly. So the well-meaning man, the heart of the well-meaning man, the heart of a kind man or woman, produceth good works. Ooh-wee. The heart of a kind man or woman enjoyeth the ease and tranquility of his own breast or her own breast, emotions, the seat of emotions, and rejoiceth in the happiness and prosperity of his neighbor. So the heart of a kind man, the heart of a kind woman, enjoyeth in the happiness or rejoiceth in the happiness and prosperity of his neighbor. Ain't no hater. You know what I mean? That's what the line is really saying. One time for the Quran, man. The heart of the well-meaning woman or the well-meaning man open not his ear or her ear unto slander. Talk about it now. I think we need to work on that one. The faults and the failings of men give a pain to his heart. Not being happy at the faults and failings of other people. Don't feel good when you see somebody failing. You want to help. You want to uplift humanity. And line 7 is really powerful to me. His desire is to do good, and he research out the occasions thereof. In removing the oppression of another, he relieveth himself. We talking about Judas and the Black Messiah, and Chairman Fred Hampton. one of the things that he and the Black Panther Party for self-defense stood on is solidarity and speaking on the oppression of all people. Right here in the book it says, in removing the oppression of another, he relieveth himself. Solidarity, we have to be aware and mindful, you know, educate ourselves on the oppression that's going on all over the world, not just what's going on with us. When we helping other people to get the oppression up off of them, we helping us. Shout out to all the people out in India right now. Matter of fact, let me try to find an article to drop in there. The India farmers protest. I wish I had an independent news article, but for now, this one is from the New York Times, just to give you something to go with. Boom. It's an ongoing real quick, I'll just give you an update. If you wasn't aware. The Indian farmers' protest is an ongoing protest against 3 farm acts which were passed by the Parliament of India in September 2020. Gigantic protest. I don't even want to misquote anything. But gigantic protest, and we should find out how we can help be assistance and stopping the oppression of our brothers and sisters in India. One second. And I just wanted to highlight also in line 1, just again about that the enjoyments and the pleasures of life, that we're not able to do that without the assistance of others. And that's why we have to be mindful and work to be kind towards others. And I think about that a lot in terms of something as basic as going on vacation. I see a lot of people, on the gram going to certain resorts and such, and just thinking about the different perspectives. And for me, it's something I've always kept in mind, is anybody that is being of service to me, I do my best to be humble and say thank you, that I appreciate what they're doing, because without their assistance, it's not going to be that lavish experience if you don't have, the waiter or the waitress that's bringing you the food and had this great energy, and they got everything set up for you, and the people that's cleaning your room when you're not there, and the pool person that taking care of the pool, and the gardeners that's getting it all right and beautiful for you. It's a lot of people that goes into creating that beautiful resort experience. And we got to be grateful and appreciative of the people that do those kinds of jobs. And I've been in that position, where I'm the limo driver, what I'm saying? And they going on their experience to this wine vineyard and blah, blah, blah. And I've had the feeling of where people don't really appreciate what you're doing, and aren't very kind to you, and I'm mindful of that. And when I read this today, it just reminded me to make sure to be grateful and to be kind, and to make sure you're saying thank you to the people that's serving you your food. You go to your favorite food spot, they getting you your food. Don't just blurt out your order to them. Hey, how are you doing? Oh, all right. Good. Okay, good day. All right. Yeah, I would like such and such. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Not just overlooking the fact that everybody is playing a position, playing a role. We're serving each other. We got to help each other. That's really, when we uplifting humanity, that's what we really talking about. It's no, what's the saying? No big I's and little U's. You know what I mean? We all in this together. It is a duty, therefore, to be a friend to mankind, as it is in thy interest that man should be friendly to thee. It's that you know what I mean, that cycle. You put that energy out, it comes back, you put it out again, it comes back, and we uplift each other. Or we get into our lower self and put out that negative energy and gossip and slander people and not be grateful and not say thank you and just, be pompous and, you know what I mean, be just full of yourself. And you put that energy out and it come back and you put that energy. But we don't want to go down. We want to go up. You feel me? Cool. Yeah, this chapter is pretty short. I don't want to talk too much. Yeah, I mean, we pretty much hit all the lines. In removing the impression of another, he relieved himself. Yeah. Well, yeah, I think I pretty much covered all I wanted to say on this chapter. O son of a man who honor thee. Yeah. I think that's it for today, ladies and gentlemen. Next week is the chapter on justice. Wait. It's a lot there. It's a lot in that one there. Number 5. My goodness. My goodness. We can't jump ahead. We can't get too far ahead because this is chapter 30. So we don't focus. But we knocked out. This is social duties. Man. Rejoice in the happiness and prosperity of your neighbor, of your peoples next door. You know what I mean? Be happy when they coming up, when something's good going on. Be friendly to mankind. Be friendly to humanity, and humanity gonna be friendly to us. Yeah, I mean that's it, man. Really. Do good, desire to do good, have a kind heart. Have a kind heart, you'll do good works. Yeah. When you have a kind heart, when you have a well-meaning heart, you'll produce good works. You do good things. Good things are happening. Thank you for tapping in. I don't see any other questions. So with that, I think I'm going to go ahead and get up out of here. I appreciate you. Study Noble Drew Ali. The Holy Koran, Circle 7. Also study the Moorish literature. Also study the mysteries of the Silent Brotherhood of the East. The Quran questions for Moorish Americans. The oral statements and prophecies. And study all the true and divine prophets. Study all of them. Confucius, Buddha, Jesus, Muhammad. Peace be upon them all. Noble Drew Ali. Pardon me. Study all of their works. See what they were about in life. You know what I mean? I got my little situation right here. Teachings of Buddha. Bam. Can I flip open something? Yeah, I see some things, but I don't want to get too far off because that's not this class. Much love, and most importantly, gotta love instead of hate. We supposed to stand on the 5 principles: love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Love is that first principle. If you ain't got the love in it, man, you know what I mean? It ain't gonna work. Gotta love. Love is the key. All right. Peace.